As Florida continues to grow, so do the needs of our transportation system. This system is an important part of our state's economy and helps keep people and goods moving safely and efficiently. The Florida Department of Transportation, or FDOT, pays careful attention to the decisions having to do with transportation projects. This decision-making begins very early in the project development process, well before construction takes place. Each project has a team of engineers, planners, and environmental scientists who all help to plan for future projects. This team is also responsible for helping to protect Florida's rich and vibrant social, cultural, natural, and physical resources. The Project Development and Environment, or PD&E phase, is an important step in the project development process. This process consists of 5 phases: planning, PD&E, design, right-of-way, and construction. The planning phase identifies the project's purpose and need. A project begins by identifying transportation needs or deficiencies through a planning process that prioritizes short and long-range transportation improvements. The PD&E phase is the bridge between planning and design phases and helps guide decision-making by evaluating the potential impacts that a transportation project may have on the environment and is documented through a PD&E study. The design phase is when the plans are developed for construction. During the right-of-way phase, any needed property is purchased for the project, and the construction phase is when the project is built. The PD&E process is our way of complying with federal and state environmental protection laws, including the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969, or NEPA, as applicable. A project may be considered to address existing and future transportation needs, such as providing a missing link in the existing transportation network, supporting social and economic demands, interfacing with other modes of transportation, improving safety, or addressing aging infrastructure. As part of the PD&E process, we gather data, develop and evaluate alternatives, conduct studies, prepare reports, and gather input from the general public, applicable agencies, and interested parties. The goal of the PD&E process is to develop alternatives that address the future transportation needs while minimizing environmental impacts. During the data gathering effort, we analyze existing data and conduct field work to learn about existing features and conditions. We look at the environment within the project study area to identify resources such as wildlife habitat, historic resources, wetlands, threatened and endangered species, and noise levels. It is important for us to understand the project area. This information will be used later when we evaluate alternatives which address the transportation need. The build alternatives could include a new facility or location, different access, widening, or a redesign of the existing infrastructure. The alternatives may also include improvements to multimodal uses. As we consider future traffic volumes, we compare the baseline no-action alternative, or no-build, to the build alternatives. During this step, we also conduct an engineering analysis based on current FDOT guidelines and standards to determine factors that might impact the design of the facility and how it is used. The build alternatives are evaluated for potential impacts to our communities and environment. This is where the data collected earlier is used. A wide range of potential impacts to the social, cultural, natural, and physical environments is evaluated. This detailed review and analysis helps to identify a solution to the transportation need while avoiding, minimizing, and mitigating impacts to the features that make Florida so unique. Throughout the PD&E process, we work with our agency partners to address critical issues and identify permitting efforts. Also, from the beginning of the planning phase through the end of construction, including throughout PD&E, we involve you. Your involvement and input as members of the community and stakeholders is very important. Your knowledge of the study area and input is a key ingredient in the transportation development process. We'll present information through a variety of communication tools, such as project websites, media, and public meetings. Your input will help our decision-making. As we move through the PD&E process, we document our evaluations and what we learned. The PD&E process helps make informed decisions. As Florida grows, we continue to welcome your input as we plan for future transportation projects, all while preserving and enhancing our environmental, cultural, and community resources.